right.
Ooh, are we on time tonight?
Yo,
We on
first
time tonight. Wait. Well, 2 minutes late. 2 minutes late, but we on time in comparison to the last couple episodes.
Yeah, we apologize, people. Our inconsistencies for streams, life has caught up to us, and I got burnt out last stream, and I needed a break, so that's my bad for missing last week.
Shit happens, man. They'll be all right. They don't give a fuck about us, not yet, anyway. I think
for those that do, though, because Gamer Harold, bro, be saying, where you at? Chambers.
That's what I was about to say.
Chambers be like, hey,
that's
where
what I was
you
about to
guys
say. Those two are the only ones that were probably like, well, where's RZ Live? Like, what happened? We're used to this every other Tuesday or so. Those are the 2 day one loyal listeners and viewers right there, man.
Yeah, for real, man. We appreciate everyone out there, man, that watches the stream, shares it, comments, all that stuff, man. We back for spooky season. I feel rejuvenated, and yeah, man, we got a lot to cover.
I'm rejuvenated, and I haven't had. This is week 2 without coffee, bro. Like, I've been on this no coffee binge. I'm like, let me see how my body functions without it. But I definitely got some cola, but that's just going to have to suffice for now. But yeah, I was like, I don't even think, like, as far as like the movie news and the shit that we haven't talked about, I didn't even get half of that shit written down. Like, we missed like some trailers.
Yeah,
some movie news, some movies came out on streaming. That's why I asked you if you saw the Crooked Man. Yeah, you just like, nah.
Nah, man. Like, I'm not gonna put myself through that. No.
Listen to me. I promise. I watched it for the first time. I did a commentary for it earlier. The trailers look bad. They do, trust me. But one of the things that I said when I did the trailer, I was like, the horror shit is working for me. It's the Hellboy shit that's not working. That's exactly how I came out of the movie. I was like, this director, fuck that was. The director is the same dude that did you heard that shit?
Yeah.
Behind me, like, I'm telling you, man, these aggressive ass fucking drivers. Yo, that's
shit.
Every day, yo. That's every day. But the movie. This director, he did the 2 Crank movies, and he did Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. So I'm thinking it was going to be crazy, balls to the wall, like just wacky, zany paced shit. And I'm like, this shit is pretty pulled back, but I'm glad that he's done something that's straight up horror. This is a straight up Hellboy horror movie. All the horror shit with the Crooked Man works. There's witches in there. There's zombies. It's a creature feature at one point. And it's different, but all the Hellboy shit doesn't work all that good. And I'm like, if you just you could have taken him out of it and did the Crooked Man thing with it. But it wasn't bad. I think I gave it like a 6.5 out of 10. It wasn't terrible. Like, honestly, I think it's better than I know this ain't saying much for people out there, and because you ain't enjoyed this movie, but it's better than The Crow. I like it better than The Crow. I think I do.
Yeah, that's definitely not saying much.
It's a low bar. I know it's a low bar.
Not saying that. I didn't even think you gave The Crow a higher rating too.
I did. I think I gave it a 7. But I think the acting is better in The Crow. But as far as like the hardcore horror shit that's in Hellboy, that shit works. Like, I like that movie better than The Crow for that. Like, the whole vibe of it is dark witchcraft type of shit. Like, all that shit works. And the Crooked Man works pretty good too. And Jeffrey from the Fresh Prince is in there. The original.
Really?
Fresh Prince. Yeah, Joseph Barcel is in there. He plays like a blind priest.
He's still around? That's crazy.
He was in season 3 of Bel-Air. He plays the new Jeffrey's brother, older brother or some shit like that. Some type of relative, man.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
Bombed. Which one you talking about? You said that movie bombed.
I think you're talking about The Crow or Hellboy.
Hellboy. I mean, they last minute decided to take Hellboy out of theatrical releases and stream it to VOD. That's why it was on VOD. It was originally.
Which probably they know it made a lot of sense.
They knew, and I respect that. I respect it because you look at the movie and it's one of those. It's like Welcome to Raccoon City, where Johannes Roberts, they did not give him the money that he needed to make that fucking movie, so the CG is so bad. At times, the green screen is bad. It's the same shit with Hellboy. The CG is bad. The green screen is bad, but everything else kind of works. But I'm glad that they were like, all right, we don't want to get slaughtered at the box office, so let's just take this shit out of the theaters and just stream it at home, just in time for spooky season. So that was a good idea.
Oh, man. Speaking about a movie that should have went straight to streaming, Transformers 1.
Oh, you saw it?
That's actually a really good movie, dude. That's actually a really good movie. And the only reason I say that is because I feel like it would have done better streaming than it would have done theatrically. Dude, that movie got dark quick, bro.
Because it's about like when they become friends, right?
Yeah, they're like this, dude. They're tight. You know what I mean? And Megatron crashing out totally makes sense. Like by the end of it, you totally get it. You're like, yeah, I agree. I probably would have done the exact same shit.
I did see one of the trailers for it, and everybody was talking shit about it. And I was like, the trailer, like, I actually like the designs. It looks closer to the original designs than any of the Michael Bay movies.
Yeah.
Like, the only movies that really got the designs down pat was, I think, was Bumblebee. For real, for real. That was really about it. Yeah,
Transformers 1 is a really good movie, bro. I did not think it was going to be that great, but it's arguably up there with the 1986 animated movie, bro. It's right up there.
That's a throwback for your ass right there.
Yeah, man.
The OG,
that's the standard.
Transformers?
That's the standard. You know what I mean? So
I haven't seen that shit in like roughly since I was a kid. I like that would be like a first time watch, to be honest.
Oh man, Hot Rod, John Nelson as Hot Rod. Movie's gonna have you crying. Like the Transformers animated movie will have you crying in the first 10 minutes, dude.
Wait, the new one?
Yeah, no, the old one, the 1986 one. But the new one is actually really good.
Yeah, I do want to see the new one. The voice acting they got behind is pretty fucking good, man. Like Chris Hemsworth, Byron Tyree Henry.
Oh, he was so good at Megatron. Like you hear it, like the way the voice starts changing toward the end of the film. Like it was just perfect. The voice acting in that movie was so good.
I did not know Lawrence Fishburne. Which one?
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne was one of the primes. Steve Buscemi as Starscream.
One of the primes?
Oh, hilarious.
He was Alpha Trion.
Trion, yeah.
This voice acting is really good, yo. John Hamm, Keegan-Michael Key, everybody's favorite Raiden. James Raymar is in this. Everybody's favorite Raiden.
Oh yeah. He only has like a small role though. James
Raymar was just in something I was watching. It was a throwback movie too. And I looked at him and I was like, yo, is that James Raymar? What the fuck was it? I need to know. I don't think it was one of the Death Wish movies because I've been going back and have you seen those movies? All of them? All 5 of them?
Yes.
Three's
my favorite. I think 5 is the crazy one where it goes off the wall and they do like the RC bomb and shit like that.
Off the wall. Listen, so I decided, I don't know, I was looking up revenge thrillers and I was like, let me go and look at one of like the template revenge movies before John Wick and all of that type of shit. So I was like, let me check out my man Charlie Bronson real quick. And the original, I think I set my expectations a little too high because it came out in 74. So I guess I was expecting a lot more action. But the movies just, like I stopped at part 3. These movies are getting just insane, you know? Like they're getting ridiculous. Like he's setting up, like the third one is basically Mad Max.
Yeah.
It's post-apocalyptic
in the
New
Bronx.
York City, yo. In the Bronx, bro. Like I was like, what the fuck? Like they start off with the gangs, and the one dude's got the war paint. He looks like Paul Bettany and shit. Like I swear that's Paul Bettany. I promise you, that's Paul Bettany. Lawrence Fishburne was in part 2, and fucking Jeff Goldblum's in part 1, Alex Winter's in part 3. I was like, this shit is actually fun to go back and watch. But Charles Bronson is starting to love this shit. He's a superhero by the time part 3 comes on.
Yeah,
he
by the time part 5 comes on, bro, it's like he's full on Superman.
Okay, yeah. Just say no more, because I didn't know whether to keep going, because I'm like, by the time I got to part 3, I was like, is this turning into The Substitute? Like, remember Treat Williams start taking over? Like the movies.
No, these movies start becoming more sleazy and more action driven rather than character driven and plot driven. So by the time you get to 4 and 5, bro, it's like it's no holds bar.
Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna stick with it. And plus, I noticed, I was like, all right, the weaponry is getting a lot better as the movies go along. Plus, I'm just kind of like, it was fucked up what happened to his wife and his daughter. But in the second one, what happened to his daughter? I'm like, yo, all right, now everybody deserves it at this point. Yeah. And in the first one, he kind of was just like cleaning up the streets. But in part 2, I'm like, you got to kill all these motherfuckers, man. Yeah. And I didn't realize I had seen part 2. I remember part 2 used to come on like, this was long before it was UPN, but I just remember that one scene where the girl jumped out the window and got spiked by that fence. I do remember that shit. But like that third one is just like he's showing the old folks how to set up traps in the fucking apartment.
They're literally taking on the warriors and shit. It's fucking great, dude.
Yeah, it's just started to get crazy, man. It started to get so out of control in those movies. And then after that, I was like, all right, let me just start jotting down all these revenge movies. Like I was like, I never saw Peppermint. I never saw Kate. I never saw
Peppermint's a true story. That's a true story.
For real?
Yeah, it's a true story. That's the one with Jennifer Gardner, right?
We're going to see how G.I. Joe goes. Yeah, Jennifer Gardner was in there.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
You're talking
about the Transformers crossover. Oh my God, that whoever directs that movie's got a lot of work to do, man. A lot of work to do.
Did Rise of the Beast. I thought he was gonna do it still.
Is
Stephen Chappell or?
Oh my God. Oh,
I thought he was signed on to do at least 2 of those movies.
Listen, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Like I was cool with what he did with Rise of the Beast, to be honest. And I already liked his stuff from when he did Creed. I think he did Creed 2.
Yeah, he did part 2.
But I think at this point, because Channing Tatum was in G.I. Joe and because everybody loved him in Deadpool and Wolverine, like, well, a majority of people loved him. Do they bring him back as in a cameo, or do they just leave his character alone?
You know who you bring back? You bring back Marlon. That's who you bring back.
Listen, that's the closest we got to Marlon Wayans playing Robin.
Yeah,
that's the closest we got, yo. And he was comedic in that movie, but he was slightly pulled back. Like he's got moments where he's still trying to act the fucking G.I. Joe movie. He's still trying to pull off good moments, especially with Scarlett. Like he's sweet on Scarlett, but he's got that good moment where he's telling her like, yo, man, you got your ass kicked, but you know, like, it's all good. We all got fucked up. They blew up our headquarters. No problem. No big deal. Scarlett got her fucking ass whooped. She needed a pep talk at that point. She got fucked up. She got trashed. Upcoming. I don't see the crossover. It just say upcoming for Stephen Caple. It says Man on Fire. Do we need a TV series?
Oh, TV series?
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Leave it alone.
I don't know. Who's going to be the Man on Fire? Oh, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. I like him, but I don't think we needed a Man on Fire TV series.
No.
The movie hasn't even really had time to age to get a fucking TV series, to be honest.
Unless they're going to concentrate. I mean, don't call it Man on Fire. Call it Creasy or John Kreese. Because, like, the character John Kreese is actually much more interesting. I would love to have seen what he had done prior to, like, taking on that job.
Yeah. I mean, look, like, these TV shows based off of movies, this shit's about to get dark, man, because they got a fucking Hand That Rocks the Well, it's not a series, but it is a remake like of the Hand That Rocks the Cradle was coming out. I was just telling, I'm thinking of something different, but I was just telling somebody all the 90s thrillers and erotic thrillers are about to get remade. Like Fatal Attraction got a series. Hand That Rocks the Cradle's getting a remake with the chick from Long Legs in there. I'm just like, I don't know
Is she
why
the
we're doing this, man.
babysitter, or is she the wife?
She is the babysitter, the nanny. She's going to be the Rebecca De Mornay character, and I'm just like what? Like for real? I don't know, man. Like,
She's she plays a lot of victims in her roles, so it kind of be nice to see her be the predator in this.
To see her do something different. I mean, yeah. Probably because I probably can't see it because I'm fresh off Long Legs. Like I watched that like probably like last month or so, and that shit was fire. But and then before that I saw her in It Follows. So I don't know, maybe it'll work, but I'm just like what are we doing, man? Like I don't even understand it. I don't know why the movie, the original movie aged well. The shit came out like 90, 92, 93.
Yeah, around there.
But I feel like if you make this, you are missing, and I posted this on Facebook, I said you're missing a golden opportunity if you don't cast Brian Tyree Henry in the Ernie Hudson role. Like it has to be him. He has to be Solomon. I can't see anybody else playing Solomon except him, yo. As far as
Solomon
the parents,
was the detective, right?
No. In Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Solomon was I don't even want to use the word the help because that's not how they portrayed his character. But Solomon was the guy who came to build their fence, and they kind of took him on as like a part of their family. And then Rebecca De Mornay planted the little girl's panties inside of his room in his drawer, and the mom thought that he was touching the little girl, and they got him sent away. Yeah. But he ended up saving them at the end of the movie. Like, yeah, that was Solomon. She did him dirty because she's like, all right, let me frame the guy who's got like mental issues. I gotta be careful what I say because they don't let us use certain words here on the show.
He was slow.
Yeah, like he was. He was like Sling Blade without the accent and the tater tots craving. Ernie Hudson was fucking great in that movie, yo.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the cat. Everybody was good in this movie. Everybody was good in this movie, even the little girl, Madeline Zima. The little girl went on to. She was in The Collector. Do you remember The Collector?
Yeah.
She was the chick that was making out with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend fell on the floor with all the bear traps and shit. That was the little girl from The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was her. That was definitely her. Curtis Hanson directed this. Is that the same director? 8 Mile?
Yep.
What?
Yeah. The River Wild. Did you ever watch The River Wild?
Was Devin Sawa in that movie?
No,
Devin Sawa wasn't.
This one came out in '94, starring Meryl Streep, Kevin Bacon, John C. Reilly, Joseph Mazzello from Jurassic Park.
That fucker that was in Star Kid?
Yeah.
Yo, that shit. Now that's what we need a remake of, man, is Star Kid. Who the fuck remembers that out there, yo? People, do y'all remember Star Kid, yo? He definitely was in Jurassic Park.
I just remember that poster where they tried to make it look like it was the Guyver poster with you see the kid in the mask.
Yeah. Disney
to tell you something that it's not.
The Guyver. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Disney's the Guyver. Like, that's exactly what that shit was. Yo, get the fuck out of here, Joseph Mazzello. We need him on the show, man. Like, yo, nothing against you, but who the fuck did that poster creator think that they were with that? Y'all ain't slick. Y'all is not slick. Disney's
let's try to sell this movie as something that it's not.
Yo, I don't even remember. Oh shit, I didn't know he was in Radio Flyer?
Joseph Mazzello?
Yeah. He was in Radio Flyer before Jurassic Park. His name was Bobby. Oh, that was him and Elijah Wood. That was Elijah Wood's either his brother or best friend. remember Radio Flyer. I used to get this shit confused with Forever Young.
I could see
Wow.
that. I could see that. Yeah.
Thomas Ian Nicholas was in Radio Flyer. Thomas Ian Nicholas. You know he's got a band, yo. He's in a band now, like a rock band or something like that.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. They do. They sell out shows and all that shit, man. Like he's like, look, guys. I know I did Halloween Resurrection. Like, here's my apology. Forever, I'm going to give you guys this band
I'll
shit.
perform at dive bars for the rest of my life. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Well,
you, man.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if he just does dive bars. I don't know. But they've got a nice, cool following though. I'll say that. I don't know who the rest of those motherfuckers are in that group. But
Well, we all know why they're there, man. They're there for the Rookie of the Year, so that's why they're really there.
Yeah, they probably say that in all their interviews. It's like, so what brought you guys together? And everybody's just like, well, honestly, we wanted to do music with Henry Rodengartner from fucking Rookie of the Year. Like, who doesn't? Fucking
Oh man,
Henry
I hope he doesn't sing.
I think he might sing lead. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. Like, because I was following the page for a minute, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm only following this shit because he's Rookie of the Year. To be honest, like I haven't listened to a stitch of their music, man. I have not. Oh, and people, I forgot, man. We've got some sad news to report on RNZ Live tonight. It is a sad time in horror, people. Sarah Michelle Gellar announced that she will not be returning to the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise. So you guys can, all of the people that wanted Helen Shivers to still be alive, y'all can kiss that shit goodbye. Fuck out of here. I'm glad that she announced that because it would have been straight BS if they brought her ass back. So, like, why would we even entertain that? Why?
Yeah, I don't know why they even. Yeah, that was just. I don't know. His band is called Thomas Nichols Band.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
It's pretty
Wow.
pretty self-centered.
Yeah.
Maybe he's on that ego trip. Like, yeah, he's like, I'm the Rookie of the Year here. Like, I was in American Pie 1, 2. I skipped part 3, but I came back for part 4, and I was in Halloween Resurrection. Fuck y'all. That's probably what he was on.
Yeah, no, he looks like he's the man because he's front and center in his video.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks just like this dude I used to work with who was the bartender at this restaurant I used to work at. He looks just the fuck like him, man. Just like him. I can't even shout him out because he's not even on social media anymore. But he looks exactly like this dude that I used to work with. The dude was like the best fucking bartender in the world. He would make everybody drinks named after like horror movies and horror characters, and people would just be like, I don't understand what this is. Like, what's the Angus Scrim? I don't understand what a tall man is. Or Dr. Giggles. I'm like, just stop. This is not you're not cut out for this shit.
So this motherfucker actually performs in big fucking stadiums.
Yeah, they sell shit out. That's why I said I don't want to say it's just dive bars because they got a nice little following, man. They got a nice little following.
Yeah, they're performing like in front of like 100,000 fans, bro. Like just looking at this picture right here, that's crazy.
Yeah. A lot of these celebrities dabble in music. Sometimes sometimes it works well, and sometimes it doesn't. Like, I didn't know Idris Elba is he a DJ, a rapper, or some shit. He just dabbles in music altogether, and I was like, well, why, this is weird. Like, I didn't expect that. I did not expect that shit.
So Chambers says, watch, they're going to make another Miami Vice. Oh wait, I think they did.
Miami Vice. Yeah, they did. Jamie Foxx,
Colin Farrell.
and Colin Farrell. It is
regarding Joseph Mazzello, yeah, he was the little boy. Don't even see it make it. Damn autocorrect. Damn spell check. Yeah, that spell check, man, is fucking ruthless sometimes. Dude, I'm gonna tell you. Like, why would I give a duck? Like, I don't understand. Oh, and also, in other sad news, Chucky, the TV series, is canceled.
Oh yeah, man. You know, it's cool because I feel like the show was definitely wild for all the right reasons, but Don Mancini not letting Chucky go. Like he'll put Chucky on a streaming film, or he'll cross over with Blumhouse or some shit just to have Chucky fight Megan. He said he wants to put Chucky in space. I did not see season
So
3. I still am
when
trying to make it through
season
season
three
2.
ends, bro, like I didn't see season three, but I saw a clip of how it ended, and if that is how they ended it, that is a massive fucking cliffhanger on like that's on some like Luke Cage shit right there, bro. Like, no,
Is
we
it when Chucky
need another
is like on
season.
his deathbed? It's when Chucky's on
No,
his deathbed and all those
the
pictures.
kids get turned into the dolls somehow.
Get the fuck out of here. I was about to say, just tell me because it's not, they canceled it. It's not a spoiler, but they hold up. The main
Yeah,
kids, like the two young boys and
if
Lex,
what I saw on YouTube is right, they turned them into the dolls. They're wearing the
you know,
good guy uniform and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
you talking about like actual dolls, or are they like
No,
human dolls?
they're becoming Chucky, which is like, what the fuck?
But it still makes me wonder, like, what would y'all do next? Like, what was that? What was the move after that? Like, because every time they do some shit like that, they always find a way to get themselves out of a corner with that series.
Well,
Like,
Don Mancini had said that he had talked to Fiona and Brad and laid out season 4 in front of them, and they're like, "Oh my god, we have to do this."
they probably was about to bring back Catherine Hicks, Tyler from Part 3, De Silva from Part 3. They probably was going to bring back Katherine Heigl from Bride of Chucky. Like, they probably were about to just bring everybody back at some point. I think, and what's that guy's name? Chris Sarandon that played Detective Norris. They probably were going to bring him back if they didn't already. Because I know
No,
Kyle
they didn't.
wasn't dead.
No, Kyle
Yeah,
wasn't there.
yeah, they didn't bring him back. But I know Kyle wasn't dead because I think at the end of season 1 or whatever, when you think, is it season 1 where you think she's dead
Yeah,
and
season
there's a hand that
1.
grabs the tree in the cemetery? That's her. And Andy's
They
not
killed
going
off.
anywhere.
They got Andy. They killed off Andy.
You lying motherfucker, yo. They killed Andy?
I think it was spoilers for me on Twitter that they had killed him off because he's not credited in season 3.
They killed Andy in season 2?
I think so. Yeah.
No, they did.
Like, fuck this! I'm gonna fat check you right now.
They better not had killed Andy. And it's not like they didn't give him everything and more to do. It's not like they did him like Rachel in Halloween 5 or some shit. But y'all motherfuckers killed Andy? Y'all no, y'all didn't. Y'all didn't. Y'all did not.
What's the
This shit
verdict? What's the verdict?
says season 3. Chucky kills Andy. Yo, Don Mancini, we gotta
But
talk, man.
How? But see, here's the thing, though. How? And is it earned? That's the question. Like, is it earned? That would be my biggest thing. Like, if it was just out of nowhere, I wouldn't buy it. And also, it had to be by Chucky. It couldn't be by Tiffany.
Oh, Chucky is killing him. Now, is this a
Are you watching the clip?
is this a dream sequence? This got to be a dream sequence, bro. Yo! Oh no, 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 no. This can't be real. I'm about to go right to the comments because this is fucked up, yo. Oh, somebody said it's a dream. Whew. Whew. Dog man City boy, yo, you Dog man City, you a wild boy, man. You know? You was a wild boy, man. Yo. Yo.
So all 3 seasons are on Shudder.
Whew.
I'm gonna have to go watch this shit.
Oh, I thought that like if that was how Chucky really killed Andy finally, you could tell he's been wanting to kill this motherfucker since since Child's Play 3. Yo, that was a hell of a dream sequence. I know everybody probably was like, "Oh my god!" Like I know everybody watching was probably freaking out, yo. Legacy characters' deaths, like that's an episode we should do in the near future. We should rank legacy characters' deaths in whatever type of movies. Han Solo, Laurie Strode, all that shit. John Connor. I think John Connor might be at the top of my list. One of the top, like, no, the fuck y'all didn't moments in Dark Fate, because I don't know what y'all was thinking. Killing John Connor.
Yeah, even James Cameron came out and said, "Yeah, I didn't agree with that. Like, maybe we shouldn't have done that."
James Cameron was like, "Look, I said they told me to tell y'all John Connor was coming back. I didn't tell y'all how long he would be on screen." Because James Cameron was hype as shit. Like, yeah, don't relax, everyone. Edward Furlong, John Connor will be back. We got y'all. But he just kind of like, you know how Homer backs up into that bush?
Yeah, back into the bushes. Yeah. I don't know. John Connor might be on there. Who else would be on there? Dewey definitely. Dewey definitely.
Oh,
Dewey definitely.
yeah,
Be on that list.
Dewey Riley, man. I cried. Like, that was a death in a, like, if you would have told me years ago when the first one came out that I was gonna cry in later Scream movies to come, I'd have said, ain't no way. Not a Scream movie.
No way.
Damn.
Who else?
I can't even say Laurie Strode in Resurrection, because even her death scene was trash in that movie. It was just poorly done. The music sucked. The setup was like, I don't know.
You mean to tell me she fucking waited a whole year? just waiting? Get the fuck out of here.
I guess that was the whole, oh, that really is Michael's sister, so the craziness is hereditary. Yeah. So she just waited staring out that window, and like I get the whole parallels, but like if it was in a better movie, that opening sequence would have been and should have been way better than it was. Like I
longer too, because she fucking dies like within 5 minutes. Like, you mean to tell me this bitch survived like 2-3 fucking movies, and really, like, come on.
Imagine a fan film, though. Like, imagine a fan film that is just Michael Myers. I mean, well, that would kind of be the same shit as Halloween 2, just him chasing her around in a hospital for the most part. Yeah, I was about to say, imagine him chasing her around at the mental hospital. I mean, it would have been, it's only been so much you could do.
But the difference being is that in part 2, she's like all comatose and really kind of worthless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And she doesn't have many lines either. She doesn't have a lot of lines, like in the second and third act of the movie.
Get me the fuck out of here! I gotta go shoot Blue Steel.
Was she filming? She was filming that at the time?
No. I think it was prom night. Maybe it was prom night.
Might have been. That's probably what she needed the wig for.
Ooh. Yeah, because she did have full hair to prom night.
I just watched. I was watching. This was like weeks ago. I think they had it on Tubi, the prom night remake, and my girl had the audacity to be like, she's like, yeah, I kind of liked it when it came out. Like, it's not that bad. I'm like, bullshit. That movie is one of the worst, one of the absolute worst remakes I've ever seen, man. I remember getting that on. I had seen the remake first. I got it on DVD, and I was like, I can't even believe I wasted money on this shit, man. This movie's awful. Let me go back and watch the original. And I'm like, even for a movie that came out in the early 80s, this shit is way better. It holds up so much better than that remake. Idris Elba deserved better. Lyndon Ashby deserved better.
I think Idris Elba and Jonathan Skeech are like the best things out of that movie. Like, honestly. Like, they're the best thing out of that movie. Like, honestly, you put those two characters in a different movie, that probably would have been like a fucking Alex Cross kind of movie.
Yeah. That would have been decent. Take the whole, CW prom shit out of there and have Idris Elba hunting him down,
Yeah.
and just put it in a different movie. Yeah, you definitely would have had something better. But in that movie, he's just like, I'm gonna use the Gillette razor. He's like, I'm gonna put this hat on and look as inconspicuous as I can at this hotel desk while stalking everybody in the hotel. It's like you are looking to get fucking caught in this movie. God, I hate that fucking movie, man. And it's the same director that did that fucking Stepfather remake. And it's like, Stepfather remake wasn't even bad. This guy, it wasn't terrible, but it's the same shit. It's just a much more polished up movie. Like, it's not bad. The performances aren't super terrible, but it's like, you ain't go out of your way to do nothing different. And this movie ain't even better than the original. The guy's not even better than Terry O'Quinn was. The girl's not even better, or the main guy is not even more interesting than what was it? Jill Sholin from Popcorn was in the first one. Yeah, she was the daughter. And the guy that they got in there from that Netflix series You, the one that plays the crazy serial killer, like, he's just real, like, he's real deadpan throughout that whole movie as the son. Like, it's like, we get it, man. You went to military school, you don't give a fuck about nothing but your girlfriend. Like, we understand. But put some effort into this performance, bro. What the fuck is you doing,
he read
man?
the script, was like, nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna put no effort. I'm just gonna show up and get my check.
Yeah, he's like, what do y'all want me to do, man? Yeah, Penn Badgley. That's his name, Penn Badgley. He's like, what y'all want me? What do y'all want me to give this character that's not on the paper? Like, I'm not doing all of that. That's probably what he said. Like, hey, what y'all want?
It's out of my scope.
Yeah, and they probably were like, God damn it! Like, our only other option is Thomas Ian Nicholas, so we got to stick with this guy right here. So they was like, all right, we'll just stick with Penn Badgley and we'll stick with Amber Heard. This is long before Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, people. Before anybody gets bent in touch. She was the girlfriend.
No
she was the girlfriend. Paige Turco played the mom's best friend. That was she was April in the Ninja Turtles movies, the sequels, not the first one. She was the April replaceable. Should have been her name. That she was in there.
God damn.
It's a couple faces in here.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Stepfather remake, bro, because I just knew right off the bat, like, man, like, besides, like, around that time, it just seemed like it was remake after remake after remake after remake. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, the originals are better, like, and there's really not enough time between these remakes. You know what I mean? It's just watching watching the original Stepfather, just knowing like the true story behind it and the inspiration behind that movie makes that movie much more scary because it was based on a real life serial killer that actually did that shit. That's what made it so creepy.
The remake it's not even better than part 2, and part 2 is actually solid. Like, Terry O'Quinn still is doing his thing in that movie. It is better than part 3. Part 3 is awful.
3 is fun as fuck, though. 3 is fun, dude. 3 is
fun, but it's that fucking kid in that wheelchair, man. I'm sorry, and it's nothing against the fact that he's in a wheelchair. I don't care about that, but that kid, I'm like, I don't know if I hate you more or the stepfather that they recast. I just couldn't decide. Or that nosy ass old man. Wasn't it an uncle or like a neighbor or something that was just nosy as fuck? And then the stepfather kills him at some point before the movie's even, like, in like the second act of the movie, he gets rid of him, and they're all sad and shit. It's like, yeah, like, stop fucking snooping around, yo. I wonder if Terry O'Quinn was supposed to come back for part 3.
No, according to oh my god, what is it called? IBM or IBM?
IMDb?
Yes, yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. He read the script and it's like, nah, I'm not doing this. He turned it down. He said, "This is an inferior script. I don't want any part of it."
Hoo-wee. What an insult, yo! I think probably the only change
they probably crying out loud.
Yeah,
and part 2 is not that great, but part 2 has like an amazing ending, though.
Yeah,
that is like really memorable.
That's the part that always stood out to me was that ending, and I remember being a kid seeing the ending of Stepfather 2, and I was like, this movie's fucked up.
And
But
that
part
poster,
3, the only thing,
that
what the
poster
poster
for Stepfather 2
yeah, I'm looking at
is
it now.
fucking savage, bro. I think that's probably one of the best horror posters out there. At least top 10, in my opinion. With the
That's
wedding cake,
yo,
and the knife.
Jeff Burr, man. Rest in peace. Shout out to Jeff Burr. He does underrated sequels, man. He did Stepfather 2, he did Pumpkinhead 2, he did Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. I was trying to interview this dude, man, before he passed away. Like, I remember he gave me his like one of his other email addresses off of social media, and then time just went on, and like a year passed, and then they just said Jeff Burr has passed away. People, I'm just like, fuck, because I really wanted to mainly ask him about Texas Chainsaw 3 and Pumpkinhead, but I was ready to dive in with my fucking research, man.
Man, Blood Wings is an underrated sequel, dude.
Yes.
Underrated.
Yes,
Completely underrated. Like, I think I prefer that one over the first one, honestly. I think the first one has its merits, but Pumpkinhead 2 is just different. It just feels different, and there's just I can't explain it.
Pumpkinhead 2 gives me the pacing I want from a monster movie. It's like,
Yes.
it may be a little by the numbers, but we get our backstory, our flashback, we get our present day setting up our characters, we get our kids do something bad and conjure up Pumpkinhead and all that other shit. And then when Pumpkinhead comes, he kills one person one night, and then the next day happens, and then the next night he kills another person, and then the next day happens, and that night he kills 3 other people, and then the third act of the movie he goes after that last person and the kids. Like, I'm never bored with the first one or the second one. The first one, like,
It takes a while. It takes a while to get there.
It takes a long time to get cooking, man. It's a lot to deal with, man. It's honestly, Pumpkinhead was something I compared Hellboy Crooked Man to. Just there's a witch in one of the moments of the movie, and I was like, she's definitely giving me Miss O.C. vibes, like, a little bit. And the whole backwoods thing, like, I would want to see that director of Hellboy the Crooked Man maybe do a Pumpkinhead movie, but keep the CG out of it. I feel like the moment you decide to CG, keep it all practical. The moment you decide to CG Pumpkinhead, like they did in part 3 and part 4, and have him walking around and no bullshit. You never saw Pumpkinhead 3?
I seen pictures
of
it, but I never watched that.
Ooh. Somebody was like, yeah, you ain't built for Pumpkinhead 3. And I was like, the hell I ain't. I done survived House of the Dead. You kidding me? I went and grabbed a 6-pack, and I did an intox commentary, and bruh, let me tell you, it is, what's his name from Hellraiser? Doug Bradley can't even save it. Lance Henriksen in the little flashes, he can't even save it. The movie is one of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen.
Yo, what's good, Max?
Max said, yo, what's going on? What's good, bro?
We're here live streaming, talking about movies. You want to join in and want to give some of your hot takes, bro? You're more than welcome to.
Yeah, we need an opinion on Pumpkinhead 3. What is it? I think it's called Ashes to Ashes. Yeah. It is one of the worst. Fuck it. It's one of those Return of the Living Dead things where they shot it back to back, and they both premiered on Sci-Fi within like a couple months of each other. And it's so bad. There's a church sequence where Pumpkinhead jumps down from the stained glass window on top of the church and just starts going after people. It's terrible. And in part 4, he's walking around in broad daylight stalking chicks. Like, I'm good.
It feels like they don't even understand what Pumpkinhead is.
Nah, they just put a guy in a suit and that was it.
It was good.
There he is.
What's going on?
There he is, man.
Gentlemen, how you guys doing? How you doing?
Good, man.
Good, man.
Chilling, man. Talking about one of the greatest monster movies of all time, Pumpkinhead 3.
I haven't seen
one of the goats.
But I heard you guys were giving hot takes, dude. I won't keep you guys too long. I'm getting ready to core Galaxy. I'm filming just a few minutes myself. I got a hot take for you, okay?
All right,
real
go
controversial
for it.
Right now. Joker 2 is a masterpiece. I'll say it right now, dude.
Wow. I think you're the only person I've seen to say that. are you trolling right now,
No,
or are you being real?
I've seen it twice now, dude. I've seen it twice.
I think
We were filming a
I
short
think he's
film.
serious. I think
I'm
he's
dead
serious.
serious, dude. The other day we were shooting a short film. I took my entire casting and crew to go see it afterwards. And then I saw a second time on Sunday after I saw The Substance finally, which is also really, really incredible. If you guys haven't seen
That
it.
is an amazing movie. That is an
Is
amazing
that
movie.
is that the one with Demi Moore?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that was pretty good. I'm hearing some good shit about The Substance.
Yeah.
Joker though?
Unfair comparison. Everyone keeps comparing The Substance to Terrifier in terms of goriness. Really weird comparison.
Yeah.
That's been all
Yeah.
over my feed. Awful comparison too. Like
Yeah,
nothing
it is.
like that.
It's like the best comparison you could do is like maybe Reanimator or Society.
I haven't seen that. I've seen chunks of Reanimated. Like I've seen like fat chunks. I need to watch in its entirety finally.
Well, I would recommend watching
that's a
Bride
good
of
one.
Reanimator because I think that'd be more your speed. First Reanimator is not as good, but Bride of Reanimator with Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Lewis, masterpiece. Great movie, dude.
Was it Arrow?
Is the sequel better?
The physical releases one, was it Arrow that did those?
Yes.
Yeah, those look gorgeous. I've been after those for a hot minute trying to find them in the wild, you know. But no, the sequel sounds solid too. You said the sequel's Bride of the Animator?
Yeah, Bride of Reanimator.
Okay, Reanimator. Okay, got you. I need to see those. They've been on my list.
And
for a minute.
there's a third one too, but I don't hear much anything about that one. I think it's called Beyond Reanimator, where they got Herbert West locked up and he's still doing his experiments or some shit like that. I haven't seen Bride of the Reanimator. I just know Kathleen Kinmont from Halloween 4 is in there.
Oh
so
yeah,
I think
that's not Barbara
about.
Crampton. My bad. She was in the first one. My bad.
Okay.
Barbara Crampton was in the first one?
Yeah.
I've only seen the first one once, and I thought the first one was pretty. It was wild. Like that third act is fucking wild, but it was all right. When all the like, well, I can't even say nothing because Max hasn't seen it. He's seen chunks of it, but to see it in its entirety, yeah, like that shit is wild.
Okay.
Damn.
But Jeffrey Combs is
too masterpiece. Like I gotta hear what, because I gotta hear. I know you're doing a show on it later tonight or in a little bit.
Yeah.
Just give me like some quick bullet points about the film.
The issue, I will say, Joker 2 is not a perfect movie. Okay, I still have issue with it. I do like the first one a lot more than the second one, right? And when I say a lot more, like I saw that first one I think 4 or 5 times in theaters that year. Like, that was my #1 movie of the year until Uncut Gems came out last minute and just at the last week of the year swept it away from me. You know what I'm saying? My birthday that year, Joker came out. I went to the stairs in the Bronx. Like, I love the first Joker film. It's just an incredible character study. The cinematography is excellent. The scores, I can go on and on about that movie. But the thing is that Joker 2 doesn't do that. My first time watching it, it kind of didn't sit with me right, is how much it demystifies the first one. The whole unreliable narrator aspect that's missing from the sequel, unfortunately, since we're confirming a lot of what's happened. You know, I knew some stuff was going to be like solidified and confirmed since it's a courthouse drama. Thankfully, not everything. I'm really glad we didn't dive down the rabbit hole, whether or not Arthur was actually adopted and going into like the whole Thomas Wayne thing, since we saw the photo at the end of Joker, of course. Yeah. But dude, having the musical aspects replace the hallucinations from the first film and that unreliable narrator aspect is a bold choice, and it works. And it really starts to work more once you've watched it a bit more too. I don't know, man. I'm loving that film more and more I think about it, honestly. And unlike most musicals for me, and maybe this is different for other people, I'm sure it is actually, especially for those who have watched like Hamilton and things like that, and like this new generation of like musicals coming up forward. Like since La La Land up, I feel like there's not a lot of movies where I think of a scene based off of the song it's affiliated with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going through the track list and that had be like my chapter list, like on a DVD menu. But Joker 2 has become that upon like my rewatch and looking back on it. And the closer to you, have you guys both seen it, right? Yeah.
No, I have not seen it.
Oh, okay. I won't spoil it then. But Closer to You is a song in the film. And in the trailer, it's the scene where I think it's the last scene of the trailer where Harley writes with lipstick the smile and like he goes to it in the frame.
Yeah.
That scene right there, dude, almost has me on the verge of fucking tears when I rewatch that shit. Having been in an abusive relationship before, having been on the flip side of that, it sucks. And to see that performance kind of drive out through Joaquin and Lady Gaga on this, it hits you in the right fucking spot if you've been there before, dude.
Danilo said, bro, don't spoil it.
That shot is one of the shots, like, when I did my trailer reaction, that shot was one of the ones where I was like, that was actually really well done. Like, I didn't completely... all right, so, like, with the first Joker movie, when Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio were on board for it, I was on board for it. But then I was like, Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix, like, I like Todd Phillips when he's doing comedy, but I'm not really a Joaquin Phoenix fan. And then when I saw the trailer, I was like, all right, this is art house, you know, Oscar bait. When I watched Joker, the first one, for the second time, I did give it credit where it was due. I said, this script is really good. The performances are fucking great. The direction's good. Like you said, the cinematography is great. And it was a character study. Like, if I could respect it more if they just called it something else. But this one, you got me curious to see this one. I do want to still see it, but I'm just not expecting much at all. Like, when I'm like, y'all are doing a musical, I'm like, if I want to watch Wizard of fucking Oz, I can watch Wizard of Oz. But I'm gonna be open-minded with it because I want to see what I come out of the movie with. But as for right now, I'm just talking shit about it and seeing how many people hate it, and seeing how, like, it's a lot of people that they either really hate it or they really love it. I don't think I'm going to really love it. I think it might be like, I just can't get past the musical shit. I can't get past it. And the casting of Harley Quinn, or the casting of Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, I just don't understand what y'all are doing at all. And now Todd Phillips is saying he doesn't want anything else to do with DC after this. And I'm like, is it because the movie's bombing, or is it because this was originally how you wanted to end this story for Arthur Fleck? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know what they're going for. Y'all have my thoughts soon on it.
Without spoiling anything for it, I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you guys can relate to this too, because we, you know, obviously saw the monstrosity that Suicide Squad 2016 was. But if you've noticed, we got Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, which I love to death. And Margot Robbie is my favorite actress of all time, I think. And I love her performance as Harley Quinn. And after seeing Joker 2, you know, I still prefer her over Gaga, right? But something that we saw during that era of Suicide Squad becoming so mainstream was like this like romanticized like view of Joker and Harley, right? When it's not a couple's goal kind of couple.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, it was that I was in high school when Suicide Squad came out. You know, like, my girlfriend, dude, I was in a super abusive relationship in high school. My girlfriend at the time was trying to compare us to Joker and Harley. That shit was toxic as fuck, dude. Like, red flag. You know, it's an abusive relationship, and that's kind of the whole point of it, you know? Well, Batman and Joker kind of have that, like, Michael Mann Heat aspect. One can't exist without the other. You know, that's also kind of the flip side of Joker and Harley. It's a constant loop around as well, you know? But what's super interesting about Joker 2 is it's flipped this time. Instead of Harley being the super codependent, this is the one who will blindly follow Joker through everything, it's Arthur who's super, super codependent. And we see that kind of side come out of things. And that narrative switch is such a bold move in my opinion. It's so simple and bold. That's why I like it so much. And it really changes the entire way the movie flows, in my opinion. So I really enjoyed the hell out of it. You know, surprisingly too, like when we took the cast and crew to see it, I missed a couple minutes of it. Like we came in during the, like I think the 5-minute mark. Those first opening seconds, dude, like all that matters. So make sure you get to this shit on time. Watch the fucking preview so you don't miss that animated sequence at the start of this thing.
Yeah, I did hear about the animated sequence, and like I heard mixed things about it. But I remember when somebody said that the opening sequence was animated, I was like that's different. Like at least if it's I can give Todd Phillips credit for not doing the same thing he did the first time around. I just am fearful for the shit I'm gonna say by the time I'm done with this movie. I don't know. I might come out of this movie feeling like how you feel, and I hope so, because like I like to be proven wrong. Like I like talking shit about trailers and movies when they bomb, and then going into them like, you know what, I was all wrong about this shit. But I don't know, man. That is a steaming hot take. Steaming, boiling hot.
And you know what, bro? I was in the same position that you are now when the first Joker came out. Like, I didn't like the trailers. The screen test that we got, like, right after Joaquin was announced, where it's like the projector image of him with a mask over it. Like, I hated that at first, man. I hated the design. Like, I hated all of it until I sat down to watch it, and I was absolutely, like, mesmerized that entire journey. So I hope this is something similar to you, because for this one, man, I went in with really high hopes, and my expectations.
Oh no!
Did we lose them? We're fully subverted in a wonderful way. It's not what you're expecting, but just go along with the ride, dude. Truly.
Bro, you need a better
say less, man. Say less. I'm going to
shout out to Max. I know he's got to run and go do his own show. I got to see a film. Be sure you go follow them in the links down below. Yeah, man. Shout out to Max, man. That was a hot take.
Yes.
Not expecting that.
It was, man. I'm not gonna lie, yo. He's got me.
He came back. Hold on.
He's got me a little curious. He's got me a little curious to watch it.
Hold on. He's back. Hold on.
I thought he was just like, go watch it for yourself.
Yeah.
And then just like
my bad.
I thought that was it.
So yo, I gotta go. Beep.
I know. That's what I thought happened for us.
My bad, dude. I put my phone on the charger, that shit kept falling. I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up. But yeah, dude, see it. And you know what? And maybe another hot take, dude. I think, Zuko, we talked about it like last week briefly on the show though. Also, see Transformers 1 if you have it, guys. That shit is incredible.
Johnny was just saying early in the episode, he was saying Transformers 1 is really good. I got it on my list, but I was like, I'm gonna get to it because I was telling Johnny, the animation, the designs for the Transformers already reeled me in because it's kind of like they doing their own spin on the original. Look for the Transformers, and I was telling him we haven't really gotten really solid classic designs for the Transformers since the Bumblebee movie. But yeah, they said I'm hearing good things about it, and the voice acting cast is crazy for that one.
Yeah,
dude, this is Transformers 1 is the second time all year where I doubted Chris Hemsworth going into a movie. The first being Furiosa. I walked out eating my words, dude. That man is so much more than Thor. I want to see him do something serious after the MCU's, whatever you want to call his arc. You know, if we do a fifth Thor movie, if we just get him in Avengers films later on, I don't know what's up for his character. But I hope to God he does something serious, dude, afterwards. Like, he has potential to be like Adam Driver kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's Hemsworth. And he right there. I mean, wait a minute. Adam Driver was in Ferrari and House of. You just talked shit about Adam Driver on the last show.
Yeah, recently. I'm talking like Marriage Story, Black Klansman. We're talking good Adam Driver, okay? This last year and a half.
He said good Adam Driver.
Yeah. The last little bit, dude. Since we started Galaxy of Film, Adam Driver's taking a hit.
Yeah.
But other than that, top notch.
Mel said, I went to the filming of that movie. I'll never forget it. It was so cool. Which movie? Joker?
What's she talking about?
I think she's talking about Joker too. Yeah, because she lives like towards Philly, I think.
Okay.
I think that might be what she's talking about. I think she went up to New York or something. Yeah, I went to high school with her. She would hit me up actually during that bit. I'm pretty sure it was Joker too.
Nice.
I can't say. Okay, Harold. But
come on, Harold. Come on, just leave the phone on in your pocket, bro, and you'll be good. Oh, she says Transformers.
Oh, she went to the filming for Transformers? Oh shit.
Yeah, were you on Cybertron? Well, all right, guys. I just wanted to crash party for a minute. Thank you for having me, guys. I'll hit you.
Yeah, no problem. Sure, anytime, bro.
Sure, man. We appreciate having you.
All right, see you guys. It's good.
All right, man.
All right. Let's see. Any news? Any news bits you got?
Worth mentioning before we jump into it? I was about to say, yeah, we got to jump in soon. I got time, but what do we have? Nosferatu trailer. Did you see it? You like it?
I did, and I'm kind of happy that they didn't show him fully. Very happy about that. I was very worried watching. I was like biting my nails when I was like in the theater. Like, don't show him. Don't show him.
No,
don't show
listen,
him.
I'm not gonna lie. I was what I said before going in. I was like, please. I said, just give me a little glimpse of him, a little glance of the face. Let me see what he looks like. But then when they teased him again, and the trailer went off, I was like, you know what? I respect y'all for that. I love y'all for that.
Yeah.
I said, this is because I feel like we are so spoiled with seeing so much good shit ruined in these trailers. Spoiler shit ruined in these trailers. And I think we just kind of get used to it. And a lot of us get annoyed by it, but we're just kind of used to it. But the fact that they did that, I said, way to market this fucking movie and keep the element of surprise going. I'm all for it.
That last shot, bro, of him standing in the room and you see his silhouette.
Oh God, when the curtains flapping.
That was fire.
He is Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah.
The ugly version.
Yeah.
Because she's just like, what did she say in the trailer? She's like, he can touch me in places you never can, or whatever she says to him. I was like, damn, bro, like he's knocking lining out that shit at 100 years old. Like, yo, that's right. Nicholas Hoult lost his girlfriend. You lost your woman, bro. You ain't getting her back. You lost.
No way.
And you lost her to Count. You lost her to Count Orlok. Like you got some bad luck, bro. You got some bad luck, or your chick is just for the streets. She is for the streets.
I think leading up to that movie, I think I'm going to watch Nosferatu, Shadow of the Vampire, The Volderdak, and then lead into that.
Isn't it a 70s or 80s version of it?
Nosferatu? Yes, they made it in the 70s. It was like a full black and white one. But there's the actual 1930s version is on Shudder right now.
I watched that. That shit was actually I enjoyed the shit out of that movie. I watched it for the first time a couple years ago, and I was like, for a black and white silent film, at like damn near the beginning of film, I said I understood what was going on. I like how the little captions pop up. I love the way that the vampire Orlok looks, and he's still just as creepy today as he was back then. That shot of him going up the stairs and like the shot of him just in broad daylight, like there's so much shit going on in that movie, and it's still like, for the time it came out, man, I can appreciate it. Like I can definitely. It's 72 is when they did it.
Oh, 72. Oh, okay.
Oh no, wait, my bad. 79. 79 is when they did it. Nosferatu the Vampire.
Is he Tech Solutions? So is Joker 2 really ass, or are they just hating? Well, apparently to a friend of the show, Max, Joker 2 is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. So
that's what he just said.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to.
If you're just tuning in.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see and see how that one shakes out, because this weekend is actually, we got Terrifier 3 coming out Thursday.
Yes, we do.
Oh yes, my God, dude! What? I know
people
what I'm
are walking out. Oh my God! People are like, it's the most gross movie I've ever seen, and I threw up and fainted and needed medical attention. It's like, you motherfucker. These people haven't seen Terrifier 2 or Terrifier 1. I haven't even seen All Hallows Eve. But after the first movie, I'm like, oh, y'all doing a part 2? Okay, cool. Cool, fine. And then they did part 2, and that bedroom sequence in part 2, I was like, oh,
yeah.
y'all want to do part 3?
That was crazy, dude. That was crazy work, bro.
Just kill me at that point. Just murk me off at that point.
Yeah.
Like, don't do all of that.
Oh,
every time you
thought
he was done, he came running in with some other shit. He's like, came running in with some more ingredients to fuck her up with. I'm just like, yo, this is cruel. Like, but it's crazy how Arthur the Clown, they're already talking about part 4, and we can't even get a fucking Freddy or Jason movie off the ground, bro.
Well,
I just don't understand.
Miller for that. We gotta blame Victor Miller for the Jason thing. We gotta blame him.
It's
You gotta blame him.
ridiculous.
It's his fault. It's his fault. We can't get a Jason movie. It's his fucking fault.
The crazy thing is, Art the Clown is. I said it before, man. I'll say it again. Art the Clown is putting these bitches on notice. He's putting everybody on notice. Like, look, it's only been since what 2016, 17 or so since the first one.
He caught on. He caught on like a fucking wildfire, dude. And you know what, too? I honestly believe that because when he came out, the creepy clowns were a thing. Like out there in Philly, out there in where was the Baltimore?
Scare. Like, we had a crazy clown scare out here, and in Pittsburgh. Like it was out in the burbs of PA and shit. But yeah, we had that clown scare. It Chapter 1. I don't know if it came out first or if Terrifier 1 came out first.
It came out first.
All right. Yeah, man, but it's just crazy. Like I think Art the Clown is a prime example of the business is going like we don't necessarily need Michael Myers and Leatherface and Freddy and Jason. Like I compared it to the NBA, where I'm like, you know how like our generation of NBA players are slowly exiting the game right now. Like only people we got left is like LeBron, Curry, KD. People like that, and it's like Michael's fresh off of a trilogy. Like Jason can't get out of purgatory. Freddy can't get out of purgatory. Leatherface, they're trying to do another one. Hellraiser, they like, all right, let's gender swap you and figure it out. Chucky just got canceled. They're not done with him, but he still got canceled. We don't know what's going on with Candyman. And meanwhile, Art the Clown's about to be on his 4th movie. I know I didn't like In a Violent Nature. I think I remember you saying you didn't like In a Violent Nature. But I think that's still, I'll give it credit for creating a slasher character, like an original character. So you got these original characters. Listen, I give it credit for it. Okay, it's kind of a Jason ripoff, but you gave him a little backstory. You gave him his own look and all that little shit there. It was a gimmick, but you got these new dudes coming, these new monsters coming in, taking over shit. And they're like, listen, man, all that Friday the 13th and Dream Master shit is cool, man, but we about to get back to this old splatter horror, to be honest. Like, we about to give y'all some of the most brutal, nasty kills. Like, honestly, the one thing I'll give In a Violent Nature, that's one of the greatest kill sequences I've ever seen. Ever seen. Yoga.
That was crazy.
Like, who wants to die like that? Like, I'm wondering, like, all right, if somebody had to murk you off, would you want Art to do you the same way he did that chick in the bedroom with the bleach and all that shit? Or my man from In a Violent Nature had the yoga? Exactly. It's like, yo, some choice.
Yeah, some choice. At least after that, at least I'm getting kicked off the fucking cliff, so I'm good. Izzy Tech wants to know how bad was that Winnie the Pooh movie. I actually kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I have not seen the sequel yet. It's coming out to Peacock, I think, in 2 weeks, so I'm going to find out how bad that sequel is.
The sequel, well, the first one, I hated the first one. I'm like, at the beginning of it, just the look of the woods and the setting, I was like, we might have something here. I can look past how the characters look. But I didn't like the first one at all. I thought it was a missed opportunity. Then I watched part 2. And I like the opening sequence, I'm like, okay, we in the game now. And then you introduce Owl and you introduce Tigger, who Tigger gets busy in part 2, yo. And I'm like, this is what I wanted. This is all y'all had to do is just let it rip and go crazy and take liberties with this open domain shit that y'all have been doing. And they went, I'm talking cherry pie all over the fucking place. Part two was like, as far as being a splattered horror movie, a monster movie, I got what I wanted out of part 2. And I'm like, all right, like, just give me part 3 at this point. But part 2, I think that's the best out of all this open domain bullshit we've been getting. And I don't mean to diss, like, no diss to the directors and anything. I'm not trying to hate on what they're doing, but if you're going to take advantage of this open domain shit, then just get creative with it. Like that Mickey's Mousetrap shit. Have you seen that?
No, but I've seen the trailer to it. It's basically some dude in a fucking Mickey Mouse mask stalking like a bunch of Dave & Buster's employees.
It's two David Buster's employees, but it's all of her friends there for like her birthday weekend or some shit like that. Bro, when I tell you, tell me the worst slasher movie you've ever seen. One of the worst slasher movies you've ever seen.
The worst slasher movies I've ever seen? Probably Final Exam.
I'm talking like where steam is coming out of your ears. It's so bad.
Yeah, Final Exam. I think Final Exam would be one of them, honestly. How the fuck
That
do you have
movie-
a drive-by in a fucking slasher movie? That doesn't make sense.
I've never seen it, and I can guarantee you it's not as bad as Mickey's Mousetrap. I promise you. I promise you. The shit they got the audacity to do in this movie, they rip off a line from Scream at some point in this movie.
Oh,
the mouse
yeah, it's in the trailer. It's even in the trailer.
He's like, yeah, you never say you'll be right back, because then you don't. And then you die. And I'm like, fuck.
See,
I was so glad I did.
This is why I tell you, Rome. This is why I tell you, Romero. We need to be on this shit, bro, and start filming shit, bro. Like, I'm telling you. You got scripts, you got something, you send it over. I will go get my buddies and we'll go film this shit.
Man, I'm telling you, man, the mouse teleports, bro. And there's like this, you know how flashlights got the little, like how flashlights do this shit. Like how they got the little, mine doesn't even do it. But you know what I'm talking about, how they just flash and shit. They do that with the mouse. Go ahead, yeah.
Like
that distracts him, and he's like, no, I can't. My power's weakening. Like when they do that, I'm like,
get out of here. No.
I'm not even joking. And they're like, at some point, they're like, well, the light hurts him, right? The light hurts him. So how do we catch a mouse? You put him in a trap. And they literally trap this fucker under a chair, like a bunch of chairs, I think. And he just teleports. He just teleports. He disappears. I promise. He does.
Izzy Tech thought you said fleshlight.
Listen. If they gave me a movie called The Haunted Fleshlight, would be way more entertaining than Mickey's Mousetrap. Because fuck that movie, man. They didn't give a fuck in that movie. I will say this: the one good thing about that movie is the ending, because they did something in that ending. I was like, I didn't think y'all was gonna do that, but it's too late. It's too late. That doesn't save y'all asses. Fuck y'all for that.
I was gonna say the credits finally roll, so I was like, yes, about fucking time.
That's the best part of the movie, when it's over.
Yeah, when the credits started rolling, that was it, man. That was it.
Yeah, like Bambi the Reckoning looks good compared to that shit, man. Like fuck that movie, man. That Mickey's Mousetrap shit, man. I was so
Dude, did you see the Wonderland Wonderland trailer? The Peter Pan trailer?
Nah. Does it look good?
Oh my god, bro. It looks like a mixture of Hook and Pinocchio's Revenge, bro.
It doesn't sound bad, actually.
It's pretty wild, bro, because they made Peter Pan like drive a white van.
As if we don't have enough of that shit going on in the world today. Like we got enough creeps, and they got him looking creepy too. Like there's that one picture where he's like posing and he's got like a fucked up face with a mask that he carries around. They gave that motherfucker a white van.
Yeah,
they didn't
white
care.
Van, all beat up and dusty and everything, bro.
They did not give a
crazy
shit.
Word, man. Crazy word.
Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Why does he look like fucking Joaquin Phoenix in this picture?
Oh, they made him look like a witch.
Like what are y'all doing? What y'all doing, man? I don't understand. Well, all right. I like this one picture of him. He's on the bus looking like, "Sup, y'all? Broad daylight, face mangled." I don't know. This might be a nice little. Whoa, Evil Dead shot. I like the shots that they got from here.
Just wait till it progresses, bro.
Yeah, I'm not watching the trailer. I'm just going through the movies, the pictures on IMDb. Yeah, I mean they got some cool shots. The posters pretty weird. What is he supposed to be, like the Phantom of the Opera in this shit?
Yeah, basically. It's like they mixed up their characters. But like in the trailer though, it is told that he kidnaps children and kills them.
Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah, the movie's gonna be dark, and I think it comes out in January.
So he's Victor Salva. This is the Victor Salva biopic. Is what we're doing.
Oh
Cool.
my god! Oh my god! Damn, that was holy shit! That was too dark for me.
I mean, it's the Victor Salva biopic. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm just being honest. And according to reports, he should be sharing a cell with Diddy soon. This a whole different. That's a whole different topic for another time, man. Because this shit.
We didn't even get to the Diddy files, bro. We didn't even get to the baby oil. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god. Yeah. It's not looking good for Diddy. He's gonna rat, and then he's gonna not be around anymore. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Nino Brown situation.
Or they find, I don't know, man. Did he have something to do with Biggie? Did he have something to do with Pac? I mean, there are questions there. Circumstantial, but nonetheless, there are some questions there.
They're gonna throw him under the jail, if so. Under.
Yeah. Can you imagine? That'd be wild, bro. Holy shit. That'd be hella wild. You got anything planned for spooky season? You got anything on your watch list? Anything that you're gonna be trying to get through for Halloween season?
Oh, of course. I just put. I mean, outside of my, I was debating whether I wanted to do an episode on it or just watch it in my spare time. VHS Beyond. I'm like, I haven't given up on the series yet, so I was like, let me see how far they can push this, and probably Salem's Lot I added to my list too, even though I never saw the original.
I saw the
trailer for the new one.
Dude, let me tell you something. That Salem's Lot, directed by Tobe Hooper. Everyone and their mama ripped off that fucking movie, bro. Everyone. Lost Boys, Fright Night, The Strain. Fuck, dude, the first 6 episodes of The Strain is literally Salem's Lot, dude. Actually,
they probably paid for it.
No, the first season of The Strain is literally Salem's Lot. That's exactly what it is. The only difference is that Salem's Lot, it was a TV miniseries. They didn't really expand on the vampirism being spread like a plague. That was the only thing that they kind of missed out on. But in this new one, it's starting to turn into like 30 Days a Night.
Don't do that.
I'm not saying it turns into that, but I'm saying like there's a shot in the trailer where he looks out in town and you just see a whole bunch of vampires. I'm like, oh shit, it's over.
Yeah, that because he looks down the street and then somebody calls his name and he looks and then the camera turns back and they're like on top of the buildings and then I was like, oh shit. I say yes, let's go. Yeah. Ambiance is there, so I'll probably do Salem's Lot. I might do that tomorrow. I think I'm gonna drop Hellboy tomorrow, but I'm gonna do Salem's Lot for another day. Because that trailer.
Salem. I think I'm probably gonna try to watch it tonight while I'm editing my ghost footage. But then, I'm gonna try to watch that one tonight because I'm very curious to see how they tackle this subject or this book. It's very. Yeah. They did it they've done it 2 times, and both times they have not really nailed it.
Didn't they do a Return to Salem's Lot?
Yeah,
like a sequel or some shit.
Yeah, I think like in 90 99, 2000, something like that. It was like an ABC original.
87.
Oh, 87. Okay.
Turn to say who directed this. Larry Cohen? Okay.
Larry Cohen. Oh,
Yeah.
shit. As in Ambulance Larry Cohen. Okay, yeah, all right. Cute.
It's Larry Cohen. The Ambulance. It lives again. It's alive.
Cue the wing surfer. Aaron the Viking says, I'm going to try to see Terrifier 1 and 2 at some point this month. Yeah. Good luck with that, bro, because I don't know if you're going to be able to make it through.
Get through it. You never saw him?
No, I never saw him. We actually tried, when we were doing Cinema Space, me and Paul actually tried to get him to watch it. But it didn't take. So, yeah, man, I would just say viewer beware, bro. Like, if you watch that movie, close the curtains, make sure you're alone, because it is a rough watch.
Yeah, it is.
It is a rough fucking watch.
It's two of the most gruesome movies I've ever seen, and I've made it through some shit. Like, this wasn't like Dead Alive gruesome, where it's like slapstick gore.
Yeah,
exactly. But this is more so like, god damn, dog. Like, you are going for the visceral gore, the shit that look like it hurts everything.
You know, it's funny. We were just talking to Max right now. You know what he programmed for 2 weeks? Terrifier 3 and Cannibal Holocaust. That's a double feature.
I ain't watching no Cannibal Holocaust. I'm cool. I don't have any intentions on watching that shit.
Oh, like, goddamn, bro, that is savage. That's
I'm not
pretty fucking savage. That is a hardcore double feature. That is like programming Snuff and a Suburban Film as a double feature.
I don't want to watch that one either.
Yeah, none of those seem like a good time. You know what I mean? Can't watch that shit. Oh man! All right, you want to get to it? You want to get to our main event?
Yeah, we can get to it.
Okay, so our main event tonight is we're gonna recommend you guys some underrated Halloween movies. So basically, these are horror movies that take place either on or during Halloween season, and these are movies that we feel don't get enough attention, don't get enough love, do not get enough viewership for sure. So we're going to give you 5 each of our underrated Halloween movies of the season to put on your watch list for spooky season. So, with that being said, Romero, you want to kick us off? I am very curious to see what you got.
I think I fucked up with my number 5 because I don't think my number 5 takes place. I don't know what season it takes place during, but I think I got confused because my number 5 is just one that I recommended for the Halloween season, and I think the rest of them take place during the Halloween season. Yeah, they do. But this one, I don't know. I think I was just I might have started a whole completely different list. But this is still a movie I feel like people should watch during the Halloween season themselves. I don't know when or where it takes place. I didn't read the captain's log that they got in the beginning of the movie or at some point in the movie. It's actually a movie that is more recent than the ones that I got on my list, but I do feel like I feel like this movie is gonna age better. It's gonna be received better with time. I feel like this is definitely going to become one of the must watches for the Halloween season. My number 5 is The Last Voyage of the Demeter, and I picked this movie for the Halloween season because this is one of those movies. It's got atmosphere. It's smothered in atmosphere, man. This movie looks amazing. It looks like I know a lot of people, when it comes to Halloween season, they want to watch Bram Stoker's Dracula. Like, when it comes to vampires anyway, you might want to watch Bram Stoker's Dracula, or, you know, like Bela Lugosi's version, or something like that. You may want to watch The Lost Boys. Some people might want to watch 30 Days a Night. But this shit right here, this is somebody, I think it was it Double Toasted that called this Alien on a Boat?
Yeah.
Or some shit like that. This shit is that's really what it is, man. It's a slow burn movie. It's really atmospheric. The performances are solid. You do got a lot of characters on this boat, so it's hard to really latch on to all of them. But I think they maybe give you like 2 or 3, maybe 4 at most that you might invest in. But I was just telling my old head, man. I was telling my uncle, like, be patient, because when Dracula wakes up, he's not, you know, my uncle asked me, is he leaning sideways and, you know, wearing a tuxedo? I said, no. I said, this is a creature. This is Dracula before motherfuckers saw him in a tuxedo,
Yeah.
all you know, all jiggied up and shit. This is a creature that's feeding on everybody, that's turning people into vampires, that's lurking in the shadows, and they kind of got to look like, what the fuck is that? Like, I think this is going to end up being a really solid spooky season movie to watch, man. And it's one of those movies that doesn't really, I mean, it kind of gives you like a you know, an ending where it's like, yeah, somebody made it, like, but it's one of those movies where you already know, if you read the book or you're just familiar with that one chapter in general from Bram Stoker's novel, you know this shit is not going to end well for these characters. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot I could say, but that's my number 5 is Last Voyage of the Demeter, man. I knew that movie was going to be something special, and I'm mad that it didn't do well at the box office, because I think that's one of the best vampire movies that we've gotten in recent years. So
I would agree with that. I would agree with that, because like that was a really good movie, man, and kept me engaged the whole entire time. And the ending, man, just had me like pumped, like, oh my god, dude! Like, I hope we get a sequel, because I would love to see this sequel. Because you don't even have to follow the Dracula novel at that point. You could just make your own story, you know?
Yep. And you had free reign as far as the sequel goes. You didn't have to really follow like a particular formula. Like you said, it doesn't. You don't have to follow the Dracula story. There was no formula. You were free to do whatever you want. It's kind of like the director was like, all right, I played it safe with this first one. Now let me get a sequel with a little bit more money to do whatever the fuck I want with it and go crazy. And then if that one would have flopped at the box office, I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah,
because the first one exists.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, that one hit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. And I'm mad that like nobody was talking about it when the trailer came out. I was like, yo, y'all don't see this shit? Like, this movie looks to be something solid, and it just flew right under the radar. Nobody knew.
That director is known to actually having really good movies. Troll Hunter, Scary Stories. Like this guy makes solid movies that no one goes to see. That's unfortunate, man. Andre overall, man, like it has just like if you look at his filmography, there's not one weak film in that filmography. There's not.
And his movies look great. Like whoever his cinematographer is, they know what they want when they make their movies. They look like horror movies. They look really good. They look great. So yeah, that's my number.
Okay. All right, my number 5 is actually a movie that came out 2 years ago, or was it a year ago? It is a Netflix original starring Marlon Wayans, Kelly Rowland, and it is The Curse of Bridge Hollow. I'm starting off light tonight. This was actually very, very surprising. I enjoyed this fucking movie. I had so much fun with this. Family friendly. It's about a family that comes out from New York, moves into a small town in Maine that's pretty much kind of like Sleepy Hollow. That has a legend about a mischievous spirit, and they're moving into his house. And the daughter inadvertently wakes up this mischievous spirit, and the spirit takes over the town with all the animatronics. And the dad is Marlon Wayans, who is the dad, who is a scientist in the movie. He's a skeptic, and he doesn't believe any of this shit. And he's just like, no, it's an actor. It's not real, not real. And well, up until the point where he has to believe, and he has to fight off these animatronics and these monsters. It is a really fun movie. I prefer this over Hubble Halloween. I think Hubble Halloween was just made out of spite. I feel this one was just made out of passion and love for the season. Marlon,
is that the Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah, Adam Sandler, the Hubble Halloween.
I've never seen it. I actually got Curse of Bridge Hollow on my list for next week. Actually,
yeah,
because I know Jeff Wadlow did that movie, and I like Jeff Wadlow as a director, and I was like, "What, he did this?" I said, "I got to put this on my list for sure." That's
now,
funny.
I don't know how he went from here to fucking Imaginary. Like,
fuck.
Like
it's not his fault. It's not his fault. There you go. Blumhouse, because they made him do Truth or Dare. They locked him. He's in a death row contract over there. They made him do Truth or Dare, Fantasy Island, Truth or Dare, Fantasy Island, and Imaginary. Bro, like you down bad over at Blumhouse.
Yeah,
he needs somebody like.
I'm so happy that Curse of Bridge Hollow wasn't a Blumhouse movie, because I just think that movie wouldn't have hit as well. I don't know. Marlon, Kelly Rowland have really great chemistry together. There's a really great subplot with Kelly Rowland, and it pays off at the end. It's so fucking hilarious. It's such a simple thing, but it's the funniest thing in the movie, in my opinion. But yeah, Curse of Bridge Hollow, man. It was a really nice surprise when I saw it, and I was like, God damn! Like, I feel like more people should talk about this movie. More people should go see that movie, honestly. I know people love Hubble Halloween and stuff, but Curse of Bridge Hollow is the better movie. It's a much family-friendlier movie. It's a funnier movie, and yeah, that's what.
Good.
Aaron the Viking says, Blumhouse is always hiring. I follow them on LinkedIn.
And honestly,
true, I got a LinkedIn too. You know what? If that's true, you know what? I'm gonna submit my resume. Let's go.
I mean, look, I would too. I'm not saying I wouldn't work for Blumhouse, but I'm just saying, like, don't let me, like, let the cooker cook. Don't touch. That's what I feel like happened with Jeff Wadlow. Like, what did he originally have planned for these movies? Because they all felt like they could have been something, but they just, like, it's hard to believe Cry Wolf and Kick-Ass 2, like, you did those 3 movies. You did 3 stinkers back to back that could have been something different. Could have been. Well, at least I'm glad you're saying good things about Curse of Bridge Hollow, because I remember seeing the trailer and I was like, this actually looks like, it's got to be lighthearted because it is family friendly, but I was like, I don't mind that. I thought that was good about it. Like, I didn't really need, if you had like crazy, insane Marlon Wayans, like, he's trying to branch over to a different audience with that movie. So I was like, I can respect that he's doing like I don't know, I want to say like kind of like a Goosebumps type of thing. I don't know.
That's what kind of reminded me. It kind of reminded me of Goosebumps 2, which is my honorable mention. That would be one of my honorable mentions. Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. That first one, even my daughter was like, she's like, Daddy, I don't even.
The second one was actually really fire, bro. The second one's fire. It has the fat kid from It, from Chapter 1.
Oh, Ben Hanscom?
Yeah. And he's in there. He's the lead. Oh, man, he's fucking hilarious in that movie, bro.
The second one looked like they just go crazy and they let it rip.
Oh, hell yeah, it is. Aaron the Viking says, I like Hubble Halloween. It's a good movie. Not the greatest movie, but good. Yeah, I prefer Bridge Hollow over that movie. I think Bridge Hollow is just the better movie, in my opinion. And also, I just like the cast more in Bridge of Curse. And also, it has our boy in it, dude, Rob Riggle.
Yo, Rob Riggle, man, that's just a dude. Like, just his name, it's like you cool with me, Rob Riggle. Like, just because of the name alone, man, we good. We cool, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't know Stephen Brill did Hubie Halloween. He wrote The Mighty Ducks and all of that kind of shit.
Like the TV series The Mighty Ducks or the actual movies Mighty Ducks?
No, he wrote the original Mighty Ducks.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I've never seen this. Oh my God, Kevin James is in Hubie Halloween.
Yeah, it's all Adam Sandler's friends. So you're gonna get the usual suspects. You're gonna get Chris Rock. You're gonna get pretty much all the cast members from like all those Happy
Rob
Gilmores and
Schneider,
Billy
Tim
Madison movies.
Meadows, Maya Rudolph, Keenan Thompson's in here. Shaq is in here. Oh, Adam Sandler's wife is in here. George Wallace, Ray Liotta's in here. Julie Bowen, Steve Buscemi. Cast is stacked. I'm sorry, man. Like Keenan. Maybe it was because I was a kid. Keenan Thompson's just not all that funny to me. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all, man. Like I
We
don't.
all starting to realize that it was Kel the whole time, bro. It was Kel. You don't agree with that?
No, I'm just saying. No, I just Kel. Both of them were funny to me as a kid, but Kel is like the Marlon Wayans of Nickelodeon that didn't really get to like kind of cut loose the way that he wanted to. But he was that one. Like Keenan, I just don't. You know, everybody loves him on Saturday Night Live, and somebody called me a hater on Facebook. I said, no, for one, I don't like Saturday Night Live. I think it's overrated. And two, Keenan Thompson, I just don't. I don't see how people are just like, oh my, that Keenan he's really something. No, I've never laughed like that at Keenan Thompson ever. And Good Burger 2 didn't help that shit at all.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I think Keenan is just not that great. He's no Chris Shred, bro. Chris Shred was fucking hilarious, in my opinion. And it's a shame that Chris Shred isn't as big or as popular since he's left the show, in my opinion.
I respect Keenan Thompson's hustle, though. I respect his hustle 200%. That bull's in everything. That motherfucker was in Clifford the Big Red Dog. And I love that movie. Me and my daughter watched that movie, and I was just like, Keenan Thompson, I don't really find you super funny, but I love he's in Chucky. He's in the Chucky series as a cab driver. He makes a cameo as a cab driver when Chucky is in the back seat. I don't know where Chucky's going, but I'm like, this dude is everywhere. All over the goddamn place.
Yeah, I don't. Saturday Night Live has not been great in a number of years, so
I don't get it. I don't see it. I just don't. I just don't understand it, man.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is actually from the same director as my number 5, Mr. Andre. My number 4 is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. This I feel like I'm a little more on point with because it does take place around Halloween. This movie, one of the only bad things I got to say about this movie, it should have been rated R. I read the books when I was a kid. I used to constantly check those books out of the library. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, More Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, Scary Stories 3. All 3 of those books were staples in my childhood at any season, but the fact that they were able to pull a lot of this shit off in a PG-13 movie, I said I can respect that. This is another movie, it's the same director. This movie looks great. It looks like something you watch during the Halloween season. They're at the drive-thru, man, and it's a period piece too. They're at the drive-thru watching Night of the Living Dead. That's a straight shot to my heart anyway. I watch that almost every day. But that's definitely a Halloween movie that they're watching in a Halloween movie. Like it's like one of those meta type of moments. The kids feel like kids in this movie, and when they could do this whole, Stella loves Ramon and all of this shit, they don't really force it. Like they don't take it too far.
Yeah,
and that's cool because that goes with letting the kids still be kids. They feel like they're like not friends that hate each other, but they feel like friends that hang out way too often to the point where they get on each other's nerves. The monsters, they got as close to these monsters as they can get, man. I remember watching the behind the scenes with the making of Harold the Scarecrow, the Pale Lady. The Jangly Man wasn't in the book. That was just something they created for the movie. But the woman that lost her toe, they like combined stories into each other to create other shit at some point. But the movie, it's just one of those movies, man. And it's kind of a family-friendly movie, too, because I don't really recall seeing any blood in this movie. Even when the spiders fly out of that girl's cheek, So they do a good job cleaning that shit up, man, to where they could have really been like, all right, we're gonna push this or we're gonna push this PG-13 rating and make it gory and all this other shit. But no, they pull back and they flip it in a way to where it's like, all right, you can kind of let kids watch this shit during Halloween season. Like the little kids can watch it, the preteens or whatever the case may be. But I think it's not quite an anthology movie the way I expected it to be, but it's still got its own little stories in there. It's something about this director where they don't want to get his sequels made. Like you said, they already don't see his movies like that, but this is another movie where he doesn't know if the sequel's dead in the water, and it's way too many stories for y'all to tell, for y'all to let this opportunity pass by. Like, we need a part 2 of this shit. Because there's stories in the book that I need to see come to light.
It's not an anthology as in a like traditional, but like you think about Trick or Treat, that's not really an anthology movie either, but it's considered to be an anthology movie as well because they're all interconnected with each other. And that's one of the things that I do appreciate about Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, that they're all interconnected. And it builds up until like the final finale, to the final story where it's just like, oh shit, this is how they're connected. I like that one. This one's definitely on a rewatch for me for this season because I haven't watched it in a while. But I definitely got to rewatch this one because I fucking love this movie, man. This was a great movie, and it's a shame that people didn't go see it, and it's a shame that people didn't like it as much. But
yeah,
I don't know. For me, man, it worked. Like it just worked. You know, this is if I had kids, man, this is a movie that I'd show my kids on Halloween. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, they did a. I mean, I like it better than that. I haven't seen the second Goosebumps movie, but that first one, I like Scary Stories Telling Dark way better. Like the tone of it, they tried to capture a little bit of the tone of the books, but god damn if we could have gotten a rated R version of this shit, man. Because the Harold story, definitely the ending of the Harold story is way worse than what that kid got.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Man. And the red spot. Like when Ruth has spiders coming out of her cheek, there's even like a little bit of blood coming out of her cheek in the book.
Yeah.
And that picture's terrifying, man. But they did what they could with a PG-13 version of it. So I ain't mad at it. It's all good.
I remember at the book fair, man. Every time I saw that cover, Diaz like, that's the one I want to order. At the school book fair, so yeah, this is the one I'm going to order. Here's my $5.
Every time.
Take it.
I love those books, man. Like, it was at one point where they just was like, yo, y'all got to just give this shit a rest, man. We were all in school trying to check this shit out at the same time at the library. Because those illustrations were nightmare fuel. They were so fucking unique and so scary. So, yeah, that's my number.
Your number 4? All right. My number 4 is a movie that you brought up earlier. It is Art the Clown's debut, All Hallows Eve.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
This is actually another anthology movie. But this is actually a traditional anthology movie. So basically, these two kids go trick or treating, and some weirdo drops a tape in their trick or treat bag, and the babysitter's like, "What the fuck? Why would some weirdo give you a tape?" So they get the tape. The kids keep pressuring the babysitter. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. She's like, fine, we're going to watch it. They watch the first scene, and it's Art the Clown doing Art the Clown things. And then as they're watching this, like, the kids are starting to get a little possessed, and they start acting a little bit more violent, and the babysitter's starting to notice this. They're watching the second one, and as the second one goes on, it starts getting more creepy and creepy and creepy. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? So she cuts them off. She's like, go to bed. And then the final one is the actual short film that inspired Art the Clown, which is, I think it's called The Ninth Ring of Hell. You can find it on YouTube. It's like a 20-minute short. But for the movie, they cut it down to like 10 minutes. And it's basically the opening to Terrifier. It is basically the opening to Terrifier, just redone. And she sees this, and it's like, oh my God, this is fucking weird. And then the tape like cuts out, does the ring thing, and then all of a sudden, like Art the Clown, it's like a hallway, right? At the end of the tape, and you just see Art the Clown just pop out doing mind things and shit. He's knocking on the screen, and he's like pointing behind the babysitter. It's like, what the fuck? And then he says, "Check the kids," and he holds the sign that says "Check the kids," and then you see Art the Clown on top of the stairs, and then it's like, oh my god, kids are gone. Like they're gone.
That would scare the shit out of me though. Like if you see Art the Clown at the top of the stairs, like I don't like it.
I was watching this movie with my lady, and my lady had fell asleep, and I was watching it on my laptop, right? And the way that the frame is, and at the end of the movie, all you see is the hallway. You don't see the TV frame. You just see the hallway. So I'm like half asleep, and I'm thinking that Art the Clown is actually knocking on my fucking laptop, bro, and I start freaking the fuck out. I wake up, my lady, hey, wake up. She's not waking up. I was like, oh my fucking god. And then it cuts to the babysitter. I'm like, okay.
Almost. You're just so half to death in there.
Yeah, I was scared. I was scared. I was like, fuck that. Like, I slept with my phone on, dude. Like, I put, like, Bob's Burger, like, on my phone and just have, like, the light illuminate the bedroom. It's like, fuck that. I'm not turning off the lights.
Yeah, I might watch this shit tonight, but I don't want the nightmares, to be honest.
Yeah, it freaked me out, bro. Like, it really did. Like, it freaked me the fuck out. I think there are 4 different stories. 2 of them, one deals with a Satanist cult. The other deals with like an alien. But somehow Art the Clown is involved. And Art the Clown is played by 2 different people. It's not played by David Howard Thornton. It's played by 2 other people. And Art the Clown looks vastly different than how he looks now.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at like a couple of these pictures on IMDb, and you can tell that's not David Howard Thornton.
Yeah,
still looks creepy as shit, but you can definitely tell. I think we've grown accustomed to David Howard Thornton. So you go back and watch this, and you're like, yeah, I don't know who the fuck is cosplaying Art the Clown in this movie. But this is where he got his start. So I've always seen this on Tubi though, and I always go past it because I'm like, I look at before I even saw Terrifier, I would see this on cable, and I would just keep going past because I'm like, I'm not fucking with that fucking clown. Because anybody that knows, y'all know, like I am scared of clowns. Like I watch clown movies, but that shit dates back to my childhood. I don't fuck around with no clowns like in real life. I don't play them games. I do not. Carnivals and all that shit, like stay right where you at. It's all
do that bullshit.
Yeah. Nope. Fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah. All Hallows Eve is a really it's a fun time. It's actually really scary. They're like the 2 segments in the middle are very forgettable. They're not really memorable. They're not even part of the main thing. But Art the Clown is still kind of involved in it, but not directly, but indirectly. So it's kind of weird in that way. But the opening segment and the final segment is Art the Clown, and that's basically the gist of the whole entire movie. It's basically the birth of Art the Clown. You know what I mean?
I can dig that. The humble beginnings. I'm always for that. And just imagine, like, Art, that's how you know Art is flexing on people, because he's like, look, man, I ain't even, like, this wasn't even originally my shit. Like, they spawned my franchise off of an anthology movie, and I was that popular that they gave me my own movie. Yeah. And I'm about to shit on y'all with a 4th one. Like, Art is just flexing on everybody at this point. You gotta love it.
It's fair. Not even fair anymore. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit. So that's my number 4, All Hallows Eve. Highly recommended. Go check that one out. That's on Shudder and on Tubi. You can rent it on Prime, so definitely go watch that.
So I don't think I might watch it tomorrow at some point when it's not so late, because I don't trust this movie. Not late at night. I don't trust it.
Nah, bro. It's I'm telling you, it's creepy. It's very creepy.
All right, what are we on, number 3? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So my number 3 This actually does take place on Halloween, so this is spot on right here. My number 3 is going to be Hell Night from 1980. I think this movie
The
came
Blair,
out.
the one with the frat and the sorority, like, you trapped up in the hell
Of
house.
course, of course. 1981 is when this movie came out. I had never seen this movie as a kid. I didn't know it existed, but I remember it being in the horror section, and I remember my mom was getting a whole bunch of horror movies when we were kids and shit, and I didn't really pay it no mind. I was looking at some other shit, and I remember she grabbed this movie, and the guy at the front, the cashier, he was like, "Oh, Hell Night, that's a good one, man. That's the one where they get," he was like describing it, and I was just like, all right, whatever. But watching this shit as a kid, I was not prepared, man, at all. This movie, like to this day, kind of still is a little bit scary to me. I just recommended this movie to somebody today. Somebody I'm friends with on Instagram. She asked me if I had any recommendations for some horror movies, and I'm like, "Have you ever seen Hell Night?" I'm like, Linda Blair's in it. I didn't really tell her what it was about, so she can go into it blind. But this shit, like the whole idea of it, to where y'all think it's a joke and it's not. Like I love that whole. The characters are thinking like, is this real? Like what are we doing? Like, where's the pranks and shit? But the fact that the pranksters are getting killed off first.
Yeah.
Those 3 fuckers get killed off first, but the plot twist of I'm the whole movie I'm thinking it's just one Garth killing everybody. But it's 2 of them. It's the siblings. Like this was the Black Christmas remake shit before the Black Christmas remake, where you got the siblings running around the house killing everybody, and it's not just a house, it's like a gothic mansion for the most part, man, and it's a whole bunch of places to hide, it's a whole bunch of places to get chased. Linda Blair's good in it. Vince Van Patten, I think is his name. He's one of my favorite characters in any 80s horror movie, but his downfall is that he's such a good friend. I hate the fact that he's such a good friend, because I can relate to that shit, but that's why when he went over that fence and he's like, "I promise you guys I'll come back and get help." I'm like, yeah, I'm going to send help. I'm not coming back. I'm not. He got over that fence and barely made it because he stabbed himself in the shoulder. I can't. Like, I'm not coming back for y'all. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to send as much help as I can. I'm going to send the USSR. I'm sending everybody. But he came back. He actually killed one of the siblings. He killed, I can't remember the guard's name, the chick who almost looked like a dude. She had like a bushy beard and shit. She looked like Bigfoot almost. Suzanne Garth. He killed her. But then he's like, "Yeah, I killed him out by the pond, man." And then the hands grab him and pull him off screen. I'm like, oh my God, man. And Raymond is really less of a, it's kind of like a slasher movie, but it's a monster movie too. I think it's one of those Halloween movies that gets overlooked. But I think it's a classic in the 80s. Like, it's one of the best 80s horror movies, like as far as the slasher ones that go.
I
So,
would have to go back and rewatch this, because I had watched this during the lockdown, and I remember it not holding my attention as well. And I remember thinking Linda Blair was annoying as fuck.
because she's a prude in the movie.
Yeah,
She's
maybe that's why.
she's a little bit of a prude in the movie, man. And Peter Barton, the dude that's in Friday the 13th, the final chapter, he's just hitting on her and hitting on her. He even tries to get some ass at some point when they're like shacking up in the same room.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, let's just lay down in the bed." And he goes over to her bed, and she's like, "The other bed." And he's just like, "No ass for me tonight." And he still didn't get that ass, and he died. Poor bastard. He died in the friend zone. Like, I wouldn't have been trying to save her ass. Like, oh, you ain't want me until it was a fucking serial killer running around Garth Manor. Nah, I'm cool. We can literally go our separate ways and see if we figure this shit out. But the scares worked for me back in the day. Like when that dude's running around in the hedge maze, I forgot his name, but he's running around in the hedge maze, and then in the distance he sees somebody like sidestep, and he's like hiding to try to run in the opposite direction. The other sibling pops up and kills him. Like that movie used to scare the shit out of me, man. I love Hell Night. That's my number Trey. My Trey way. Right there.
Okay. All right. My number 3 is a probably one of the best found footage movies that I've seen in the past 10 years. It's definitely up there, right next to Hell House. I fucking love Hell House. Hell House is one of my favorite movies. But this one is often overlooked and often not credited to like really kind of reinventing the genre in a way. And that is the houses that October built. I was so surprised with this movie. This is like a pseudo documentary about these extreme haunters that go out and seek out the most extreme haunts out in the country. So basically, a whole bunch of friends rent an RV, and during the month of October, they go out and explore different haunts through in the South. They wind up in Louisiana, New Orleans, and they find out about this thing called the Blue Skeleton, which is one of the most craziest haunts. It's similar to the Blackout experience down in LA. And if you're not familiar with the Blackout experience, that's basically where they put you in a room, you get a card, call it, they pick you up, put you in a mask, put you in a black room, and then from then on, you're in the haunt. Like, do you have people? You ever seen The Game with Michael Douglas?
Yeah, of course.
That's what Blackout is. That's what the Blackout experience is.
Shit, I'm cool off that action.
That's basically what it is.
I'm good, yo.
And so anyway, like, these friends they find this haunt, and then things take a turn. And one of the things about this movie that I really liked about it is that you don't know if it's real or if it's fake. The bad part about it is that this movie spawned a sequel that really kind of undermines the first movie. I mean, the sequel is okay, but not knowing what really happened really made that movie like elevate, in my opinion. Because I love the way that it feels like a documentary, but it also feels like you're watching something you're not supposed to be watching. I really fucking love that, because that was just something that was just very clever, because there was no clear answer on what you saw was fake or was it real. Like, were these haunters really trying to hurt these people, or were they really just trying to scare them? You don't have these answers. And that's what made that movie so good. I remember watching the last 10 minutes of that movie and just being like, fucking heart was just pounding, bro. I'm like, oh my God, dude, what the fuck? I might be overselling it, but I fucking enjoyed this movie, and I think it's one of the best found footage movies that I've seen in the past 10 years, honestly. I was very surprised. And I'm very happy that my lady talked me into it, because the title doesn't sound cool, The House is October Bill, but then when you think about it, you're like, oh, that's kind of a neat title. And then
I always thought the title was interesting enough. I just never. It's another one of those movies that I'm like, do I want to watch this? And I would always scroll past it because I wasn't really sure what it was. But the title was something that was always like a little bit interesting to me, and I didn't know it was a found footage movie until you said something just now. I never knew it was found footage, because I'm into that shit. I love found footage shit.
It's one of the best found footage movies that I've seen. It's up there with Hell House. I fucking love Hell House. Hell House was amazing. Yeah.
Hell House.
Have you seen Hell House either?
Hell House LLC. It's like 16 of these movies.
Oh, just watch the first one, bro. You don't need to watch the rest. Just watch the first one. I promise you. Like, that first one, bro. I promise you, bro. Just watching that first Hell House, bro, it will scare you, though. It will scare you, bro. I remember we watched that at my lady's house, and at the time we had decorations all over the place for Halloween, and we were watching it, and we're like, I walked out of the room and I screamed because there was like this big fucking mannequin out in the living room, and all I just saw was this big ass silhouette. It's like, ah! And we both got up. It's like, you know what? We put this in the closet. We put it in the closet. It didn't come out since. We're like, no. Hell House LLC does something really great in the sense that it fucks with your eyes. Like, it makes you think you see something that you don't think that it's there, but it's there. That's what's so good about that movie. You see movement where you don't think you see movement. It plays with your mind so well that by the end of it, you're going to be questioning, did that fucking thing just move?
See? It's that bullshit, man.
I'm telling you, man,
Okay,
Hell House LLC is great,
I
dude.
saw
It is great.
an image from this first movie because I remember this guy. I remember seeing this image. This guy with this white. I don't know if that's his face. I don't know if it's a mask, but his eyes are bleeding. There's blood on his mouth, and I was like, nah, bruh.
From where? Hell House?
Yeah. There's I don't know what's up with this dude's face, but he's got like a white face. He's got blood coming from his eyes. And he's got blood coming from his mouth.
Oh,
When you go on IMDb,
that is just a haunt. That's just like an animatronic.
uh,
Yeah, that's a doll. That's a doll.
yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like
that one right there. That's the motherfucker that's gonna scare you, bro.
Yeah, I seen that shit. I said, nope.
Definitely watch that for Halloween or Devil's Night, dude. I'm gonna tell you right now that it's gonna be a blast. It'll be a fucking blast.
I've marked it down. Oh no. Oh no, man.
That's my number. That was my number 3. The house is
Oh, I thought we was on.
October built.
All right. So my number 2. I don't remember if you've seen this movie. I think I might have recommended it if you didn't see it. But this is this movie. I feel like this movie kind of has a cult following, but not the following that it should. And it does. It takes place over, I think, 2 days. But the last part of the movie does take place on Halloween. The second day takes place on Halloween. And there's some cool shit that happens throughout this movie. My number 2 is Idle Hands. Devin Sawa, Vivica Fox, Jessica Alba, Seth Green, Jack Noseworthy, Eldon Henson, like who? Fred Ward, I think, is in this. It's not Fred Ward. What's that fucking guy's name, man? Can't remember the guy's name, but he's the one that was. Christopher Hart plays the hand, the one that played the thing in
Fred Willard.
the Addams Family.
Fred Willard. Who's
That's
also
his name.
in search of, oh no, it's not him. Never mind. That wasn't him.
I call that motherfucker Fred Ward. Yeah, I'm mad they didn't give him shit to do but get killed in the beginning of the movie. But he's the one in How High. Like them will fucks with each other. He's hilarious in every fucking thing he's in. But Idle Hands, man, this was one of the best, one of my favorite movies in 1999. Like for me, it was like The Best Man, American Pie, Go, and Idle Hands were definitely like top 4 movies that came out that year from that I can remember. Idle Hands, when I got that shit on VHS, got so many spins in my VCR, man, and it was just, I used to call my cousin on the phone. We used to press play at the same fucking time and watch this movie at the same time. We were so obsessed with this shit and just obsessed with the characters. The character of Anton was like one of the best stoner slackers of the 90s. His 2 best friends, like the fact that they die and come back as zombies, stoner slackers, like Eldon Henson, he's missing his head and he's still smoking. Like his body has his head upside down on his lap while he's hitting the bowl and the smoke is coming out of his neck. Bro, I'm telling you, man, the movie is fucking hilarious, man. They're just chilling, lounging around the crib. 2 dead people and Anton, whose hand just keeps killing everybody in the neighborhood. He kills the cops. I forgot the cops. Roach from The People Under Stairs, Sean Whalen, and Vinny from Sometimes They Come Back play the cops, man. Vivica Fox is fine as fuck in that movie. And that was like prime 1990s Vivica Fox. Mm-hmm. Jessica Alba, that was everybody's introduction to Jessica Alba, and everybody was googly eyes over her when she was in that damn movie. The soundtrack, I'm not a super big rock and roll dude, but I appreciate a lot of it. And that soundtrack introduced me to Offspring. That band, the soundtrack is fire from start to finish. You got a little bit of Rob Zombie in there. The movie, this is one of the most gorgeous looking horror comedies I've ever seen, man. Whoever the cinematographer was, the lighting in even the lighting outside of the cribs in this movie, man, looks amazing. And then when the hand you think shit is bad when the hand is attached to Anton, but when he cuts that fucking hand off and that hand goes running to the dance to go after Jessica Alba, it's fair game, yo. And he, like, I love when he puts his hands, the hand puts his fingers in the pencil sharpener and sharpens his nails and like, and I love that the movie blends practical and CG effects together, man. I love that shit. Like decapitations and people getting scalped and shit. All of that is like practical CG blended. I love that fucking movie, man. That's definitely a movie I feel like more people need to watch during Halloween. And it ain't nothing super heavy-handed. Like it's nothing really scary about it, but it's definitely laugh your ass off stoner comedy mixed with, you know, a zom-com mixed with all the kind of like a teen love story type of thing. Like it's got so much shit going for it, and I feel like it just hasn't. Idle Hands should have gained way more traction than it did. I don't know how it did at the box office, but
it made
and it had
$4 million on a $25 million budget.
Oof. Rodman.
You got to think though, but you also got to think like what was happening in '99. You know what I mean? Like when this movie came out, this movie was just like American Pie. It was hurt by Columbine and all those incidents too. So
yeah. And plus, if motherfuckers wasn't doing Y2K movies, also they like, look, if you ain't a disaster movie or Y2K, God damn, only $4 million.
Yeah, only $4 million.
Oh, that's heartbreaking, man.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, bro. $4 million. That's gnarly.
And this movie's brilliant, man. It's so slept on, man. So underappreciated. 4 million. Like, could you imagine? Wait, this was a $25 million budget. Like, imagine pumping that type of money out if you're a company and you only got $4 million.
Like 2 weeks prior to this, Columbine had happened.
Damn. So
this movie was released on April 30th. Columbine happened on April 20th. So
people probably weren't interested in a hand going to a school killing people. They had seen it. They've seen it already and they didn't like it. So I get it for sure, but damn, that's unfortunate, man. They should
have pulled this movie. At least like pulled it and you know, push it to like October or something, or wait another year. I don't know, man. This is definitely on the watch list. I'm gonna try to watch this one for spooky season tonight. Or
yeah, man, please do. I'll make a deal with you. If you watch Idle Hands, I will watch. Well, I got both The Houses October Built and I got Hell House LLC. So I'll watch one of those if you watch Idle Hands.
Hell House. You watch Hell House.
Hell House.
Because I want you freaked the fuck out, bro.
And that's like a good found footage movie. That's how it'll have me. Like, honestly, it'll have me. Like, I remember I thought VHS was pretty creepy, the first one at least. And I remember watching it with all of the lights out, volume all the way up. And I remember, like, looking around a little bit. Like, I was, like, that's what found footage movies do for me. Like, if you do it realistically enough and it doesn't feel like a gimmick, I hate to say like Diary of the Dead did, like you can tell this ain't found footage. Yeah, you can clearly tell it's too polished up to feel like and the edits are too obvious to feel like a real found footage movie. So if it's grainy enough and gritty enough, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you definitely. I think you'll get more out of Hell House because that movie is definitely fucking fire. I like Houses of October Built, but I think if you had me pick which one I wanted you to watch first, Hell House would be the one I would want you to watch first.
Yeah, you can if I don't add it to the list, I was about to say you can expect one of those fucking green screen videos and shit that I'll probably tag you to. One of those green screen reviews, man.
I'm all for it, man. All for it. All right, that was your number 2. Idle Hands. Okay, that's on the list. I'm gonna watch that shit. I'm gonna put it on the list. My number 2 is a small independent movie called Murder Party. This is about a loner who spends Halloween by himself, who gets a invite by an unknown assailant, and he decides to dress up as a card. He makes up a costume made out of cardboard, looking like a fucking knight of badassery or whatever. He goes to this
Yo,
party.
you told me about this.
Yeah, yeah. And he goes to this party, and all these people are all coked up and all fueled on cocaine. And the only reason he's there is because this dude convinced all these other motherfuckers that we're going to sacrifice this motherfucker tonight. That's not how it turns out. But it is arguably one of the most funniest and dark. If you like dark humor, this is that movie, bro.
Yeah, I don't remember what episode we did, and I remember you told me about this because Macon Blair is in this.
Yes.
And I remember you saying something about Macon Blair being in this. I'm like, all right, bet.
Yeah, this takes place on Halloween night, and this is a Halloween party, costume party. And this shit, it's like Reservoir Dogs meets, what would be a good way to put it? Reservoir Dogs meets, I guess Reservoir Dogs meets the first Evil Dead. Is how I would put it. Because this movie is very visceral and very violent. And when it blows up toward the end of the movie, it is just like, what the fuck?
Those are two movies that don't even fucking sound like they need to even be. He said Reservoir Dogs and
The first Evil Dead.
Yeah, that sounds like it's going to end terribly. Like that's all bad. Everybody getting fucked up.
Oh yeah, it's great, and the ending is fucking hilarious. So just make sure you stay to the end.
Jesus.
Yeah, I like this movie. This was actually a really nice surprise when I saw it on lockdown. It was on Shudder for a while, and I've been wanting to watch this movie for a while, and so I just fucking pushed play, and I watched it with my lady, and we were just laughing because this shit is just this shit is wild, dude. Like, oh my god.
I might jot this one down too, just because. Party.
Don't watch the trailer because the trailer doesn't give you what this movie really is. Because since this movie is like an independent indie movie and it was like self-financed, the trailer is awful. And it makes you think you're going to see a different